think his beef with me. It started with me. I initiated that whole thing. Listen, I think a wrestler should look like a wrestler. It's that simple.
Come
on.
No.
Good point, Sean. Because you know what I say all the time? If Kevin Owens' appearance was part of the gimmick and part of his character, great. I get it. The guy is an out-of-shape guy that likes drinking his beer and eating his hoagies, but he could still kick your ass. I get it. But when a guy looks like this and they're telling me he's a prize fighter, what prize fighter looks like this? I never saw a prize fighter look like this. So that was my whole thing, bro. If you're going to be a professional wrestler, look like a professional wrestler. But if they made that as part of his gimmick, it would be tremendous. So that was the beef I had. But it was more with it was really more with WWE creative than Kevin Owens.
Gotcha. Sami Zayn.
Let me take my glasses off and rub my head. There's a reason the WWE, I'm not even going to say wrestling business, there's a reason the WWE has gone from 8 million viewers to under 3. Because when you had the world watching wrestling, the Attitude Era, before the Attitude Era, WrestleMania 1, 2, and 3, way before, Bruno, when you had the world watching wrestling, the casual fan, when you said professional wrestling, right away in their mind there was a picture in their mind of what a professional wrestler looks like. A professional wrestler is larger than life. A professional wrestler looks like somebody I've never seen before. When a professional wrestler walks through the airport, I'm going to know that's somebody. And I'm talking about Roddy Piper. If Roddy Piper walked through an airport, you would look at Piper and know that's somebody. Kurt Hennig walked through an airport, you know. If Bret Hart walked through an airport, that's freaking somebody. You just knew a professional wrestler in our mind. Sami Zayn looks like my next door neighbor. I'm sorry, and that's not an insult.
I know what you're saying.
That's not an insult. I can't watch I'm 56. I can't watch a wrestling show with any kind of belief when I honestly think I could give half of the roster a good fight. Sami Zayn would probably kick my ass, but he wouldn't do it in a minute. Those freaking 205 guys, yeah, they'd all kick my ass because I'm 56, but they wouldn't do it in a minute. When I go back to looking at those guys, freaking Ken Shamrock, who's coming into my life, are you freaking kidding me? I remember once, I got so hot once at Billy Gunn. The one and only time in my life I disrespected a wrestler and told Billy Gunn to go F himself. Okay, way out of line. And the minute it came out of my mouth, I freaking regretted it. Brian James came over, and I thought this guy was going to kill me. Brian James, Road Dogg. What the freaking Sami Zayn? Who's Sami Zayn going to beat in real life? I'm just being honest. That's why they've lost the casual fan base. It's not believable. It's nothing against him. Look at me. Okay, what? I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to be a Chippendales dancer.
What about when you had to write for?
What happened to not talking about wrestling?
What happened? I know. How do we get? Well, because you know why? Because it's why people hate you. We could have been talking about your baker if your baker hated you. Anyone in your family hate you? We could talk about them. You have a cousin. Every Italian has this. Hold on. There's someone in the family that nobody talks to anymore.
Wow.
There's an uncle, a cousin that everybody cut off.
My mother, who passed away recently, had cut everybody off. She was one of those Italians. You looked at her. No, but
there was a person who did something. No. And the other thing is, somewhere in the lineage, it's usually now a couple of generations back, someone put a curse on somebody.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely,
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah. The horns.
I don't want to go too far into the supernatural because this will become the Vampiro. The Italian horn or the Malioc you're talking about?
The Malioc. Yeah. The red pepper gimmick.
Right.
Yeah.
We used to have to write for, and then we'll get off wrestling, I promise.
You're stirring up all kinds of shit here, bro.
Everywhere you go, you stir up shit. You know why? I'll tell you why.
Because I'm the only one who speaks the truth.
Let's leave truth or untruth.
Why are you saying
you are vocal.
If Sami Zayn, let me put it to you. Sami Zayn is a professional. Bro, you got to understand, the WWE is the premier wrestling organization in the world.
Yes.
Sami Zayn made that roster. You know what statement that is? They're basically saying anybody can be a wrestler. And I don't agree with that. I think you should have to look like a freaking wrestler to be a freaking wrestler.
That's fine. I always say if everybody,
Sami Zayn fan,
if everyone likes you,
taxi cab shirt under there,
if
bro.
everyone likes you, you haven't done anything important.